On number 5, I have License to Kill, performed by Gladys Knight, written by Walter Afanasieff, Jeffrey Cohen, and Narada Michael Walden, I believe. A fantastic song, not only tied to 007, the number, which means you have a license to kill. So I thought the title was perfect. But for me, License to Kill, with that soulful voice of Gladys Knight, is one of the most dynamic, well-performed, well-composed songs of the Bond films, definitely. And it was not so much a rocky theme or a disco theme, or it was more soul, and I really like that a lot. And it is not tied to the film's soundtrack. A lot of elements from the title song of a Bond film end up in the soundtrack as well. They get reused, like for example Goldfinger. But License to Kill is totally disconnected from the rest of the film's soundtrack, and yeah, I really like that song a lot. It is synonymous for Bond for me. Yeah. I know many will probably rank that as their number 1, but for me it's only number 4, Goldfinger, written by John Barry, Leslie Bricusse and Anthony Newley, performed by the legendary Shirley Bassey, who is still performing that song, by the way. She's over 80 years old now. But for me it is in the top 5 because it is, of course, a classic James Bond title song. Everybody knows Goldfinger. I think there is not a person in the world who has not listened to Goldfinger or has not heard of it. The reason I like it so much is not because it is a classic Bond song or because it has this iconic standing within the Bond franchise. It's more the technical aspect of it that makes the song so perfect for me. And you have to start obviously with Bassey's vocal performance, which is a powerful chest voice in the middle register, and this chest voice is so essential for the whole entire arrangement. And Shirley Bassey supports the martial gesture of the arrangement with sometimes pithy accents and high vibratos, and that is really a combination that goes really good with the rest of that song. And then of course you have the lyrics, and lyrically the film villain Auric Goldfinger is characterized in what she sings, and there is an authorial narrative perspective that is taken, and a lot of verbal imagery, like the song expresses danger and manipulation, seduction, and it's just a sexy song. It's a very, very sexy song, jazzy, sexy. Yeah, I really love it. That's my top 4. Number 3, Nobody Does It Better, performed by Carly Simon, written by Marvin Hamlish and Carol Bayer-Sager. I had to have a ballad in there, and Nobody Does It Better is the perfect Bond ballad, and a lot of people tie it to Bond automatically because he's the hero and nobody does it better. That's probably why I tie it to Bond as well, but actually there is nothing to suggest that, because the lyrics are mainly about Bond's sexual conquests, his affairs with women. That's what the lyrics deal with. But yeah, when you look at tribute videos, Nobody Does It Better is almost used exclusively and a lot in these tribute videos. So it must be loved, and I love it too. Yeah, absolutely. I love the instrumental version, or the sung version. I've performed it a couple of times, and it's a great song. It's a wonderful song. It puts you into that mood of the whole franchise. Yeah, it's been going on for 60 years. Nobody does it better, because nobody has been going on for 60 years. It just fits perfectly. Fits our narrative. When you were young and your heart was an open book, live Let Die. Of course, written by Paul and Linda McCartney. That is my number 2. Live and Let Die is a fantastic song. It is so Bond, absolutely. And it has a very interesting technical structure. So it's determined by this tonal stylistic contrast between the individual parts. And you have a spectrum that is ranging from an intimate lineup of vocals and piano at the beginning, when you were young, and so on. It's very, very, very subtle. And then suddenly you have this classic rock band thrown in, and finally the simultaneous use of band and a full orchestra. I think that was brilliant. It was brilliantly conceived, and well, you end up with this whole piece starting like a ballad, then going solemn, and then suddenly it turns into a wildly pulsating wall of sound. And it's no wonder. It was produced by George Martin, who was a brilliant composer and arranger, and also the soundtrack of Live and Let Die that he composed. It is one of my favorite soundtracks. I listen to it a lot in my free time, on my mobile, whenever I have the time. George Martin's music is really exceptional. So many nuances, so many little details, and such a rich, the wall of sound, basically. And you can hear individual instruments. It's finely arranged and mastered. Yeah, it's a really great song and great score. Live and Let Die. For sentimental reasons, GoldenEye. Yeah, that's my number 1. It was the first Bond film I saw, and from that day until now, whenever I hear the first bars, da 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 da, da da, it just gets me every time. It gets me every time. This characteristic pattern, this short staccato motif played by the strings in a low register, and then it gets counterpointed in the intro and the refrain by a pithy 2-tone brass motif in this call and response manner, and together with the vocals of Tina Turner, who was a major star in the 90s. My mother loved Tina Turner, and that trickled down to me. I started to love Tina Turner, and then of course when she performed GoldenEye, it's a song I can still listen to, and so the arrangement and the technique of that song, overall, what it gives you is this opulent tapestry of sound with exciting harmonics, and just brilliant. And it ends in this finale furioso with the high notes and Tina Turner's brilliant finish, which must have been difficult to sing. I mean, if you read up on the Bond songs, there were a lot of times Shirley Bassey almost fainted during Goldfinger. Tom Jones almost fainted singing Thunderball. But Tina Turner, she is, to this day, I mean, GoldenEye was 1995, and now we've got 2022. But to this day, there has not been a Bond song like GoldenEye. Not a song that oozes secret agent, classic spy genre, and GoldenEye was rather dark, so the song has its dark moments. It is very mysterious. It's like going through the fog. See him moving, and it's just a fantastic song. It's masterful, and that's why it's my number 1. Yeah, absolutely, GoldenEye.